your extended forecast.
Hurricane Fabian could be one of the biggest weather stories of the year. It hit Bermuda, and this is what it looked like on Friday. This is when the winds were light. That's when this video was taken. Trees are down, power lines are down, phone service is out, electrical service is out, and most roads, as this one, are impassable. Hurricane Fabian. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Henri has been downgraded to a tropical depression. Good news for residents of Florida and the Southeast. I'm Dave Schwartz. This is your Tropical Update. The main threat from Tropical Depression Henri right now is not wind, obviously. It's not high seas either. It's heavy rain. Flood watches are in effect for parts of Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. Even though the center of the circulation is just west or southwest of Tampa, this is your tropical depression too in Daytona Beach. Look at these showers spiraling across the state of Florida. Fort Myers picks up 6 inches of rain in the last day and a half, and there's still more yet to come. Look at the rain that's reached Miami and Fort Myers. So unlike a hurricane where the eye wall can just nail you as it did in Hamilton in Bermuda, a weak tropical system such as this has peripheral effects well away from the center of the circulation, where the weather is, well, in Tampa tonight, we just have this morning, some showers and winds maybe 15 to 20 miles an hour. That's just about it. Boaters here in the Keys, you might just not want to get in that boat, huh? And out here on Biscayne Bay, Bay and inland waters up the coast, all the way into Georgia and South Carolina, nasty weather. Look at all this rain, huh? Wow. Getting into Myrtle Beach, down toward Georgetown, and right into Charleston and Savannah. 3 to 5 inches of rain have already fallen, and with a slow-moving, though weak, tropical system, and once again, this will be replaced by an L, tropical low, tropical depression, as that moves across Florida. More rain, eastern Florida and southern Florida only, and then the Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina coasts. So this weekend, I'm afraid, from, say, Melbourne to Jacksonville, then right up to Savannah and into the Carolinas is going to be a washout. Weather should improve here in Florida. That would be on Sunday. Now I take you back a week. A week ago, Hurricane Fabian makes this thing look like a Sunday picnic. Look at this. Hurricane Fabian out there over the eastern Atlantic. This is back on August 30th. Watch what happens in a week. It takes the typical track westward, threatens Puerto Rico, and then makes the anticipated right turn away from Puerto Rico. But look at Bermuda. Well, on Friday, the eye wall of Hurricane Fabian moved right over the island of Bermuda. Latest information from the Hurricane Center keeps this at a 100-knot hurricane, a Cat 3 hurricane, 115 mile per hour winds. That's the latest 5 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center. This, moving away from land, will continue to making its right turn, but it's generating some high surf along the east coast of the United States and eventually out here in the Canadian Maritimes. So if you have a trip planned to the beach here from Georgia coast, St. Simon's Island, all the way up toward the Outer Banks, and then, say, Long Island and the Cape and the islands here in southern Massachusetts. Heavy surf, 6 to 10 feet, and also some dangerous rip currents. Where's the next tropical system going to come from? Not the Gulf, not the Caribbean. We believe this one right here, off the coast of Africa. That will probably be your next tropical storm this weekend. Mexican Riviera is all quiet, and that is your tropical update. Big stories for Saturday include the wet weather from our tropical depression in Florida, warm weather in the northern plains, and thunderstorms in the Rockies. Now this.
Is your dessert so boring it's left your family snoring? Not anymore. Introducing the...
expect fair skies Monday through Wednesday with temperatures in the 70s on Monday.
Well, it's 50 minutes past the top of the hour, and of course it means it's time for your tropical update.
Indeed it is. We always have it, and of course it's been an active time. I'm Bob Stokes, so thanks for joining us.
And we want to check in with our hurricane expert, Dr. Steve Lyons. And Steve, is there any major threat here now with Henri as it's moving on shore in Florida?
Well, the only threat remains potential for some heavy rain over the next 6 to 12 hours as it moves off to the northeast. Let's look at the latest circulation center. It's on shore. It's moving past Tampa. There's the circulation center right there. That's the track. And you can see still some bands of rain here, but the overall wind associated with it has been very light. Tampa Bay, when it came on shore, is about 16 miles per hour. The winds offshore have been very light as well. But there's still the potential for some heavy rain there. Now here's the larger scale picture. The circulation center is right about there. You can see offshore the winds are generally less than 10 miles per hour and the sea's less than 5 feet, so it's okay to go out sailing today. Just watch out for the lightning. Now what's going to happen with the system as it moves on through? Well, a couple of things. First of all, watch out for this heavy rain over South Florida today when it'll be moving toward Orlando, and here's the old frontal boundary, and as this low pressure center moves off the east coast, it's going to be interacting with this frontal boundary, and this rain and a high pressure center to the north of it is going to generate a fairly strong pressure gradient. So strong winds along the southeastern U.S. with some heavy rain moving up toward the Cape Hatteras area the next few days, but we really don't think it's going to be much of a threat wind-wise whatsoever. So just watch out for the heavy rain, Melissa.
All right, Stephen, what about the latest on Fabian?
Fabian, oh boy, that was a 1 in 50-year event. We had a Category 3 hurricane landfall in Bermuda, currently moving to the northeast at 21 miles per hour. There you see the circulation. Winds still 115 miles per hour. Last observation I got out of Bermuda, which is just an hour ago, they've dropped down. Finally, winds west at 25, gusting to 35. So they're finally out of the tropical storm winds, but the waves are still up. It's going to move off to the northeast and become extratropical over the next several days. But I just wanted to mention our wave forecast here that we've had the last couple of days. I just truncated this. Wave action still coming in along the Cape Hatteras area and up toward the east coast. So we're expecting on the order of 10 to 15 feet. I just checked the buoy. It's 10 feet in 14 seconds. That's going to generate some rather dangerous rip currents there. So continue to monitor that. It's not a safe place to be out in Cape Hatteras today. Now the other feature we're monitoring here in the eastern Atlantic is that low pressure center right there. That could become a tropical depression at any time. In the meantime, if you're heading into eastern Pacific Mexico, quiet weather and nothing going on, Melissa.
All right, thanks a lot, hurricane expert Dr. Steve Lyons. Now with a look at the stormy weather across the lower 48, here's Bob.
Well, not only could we see some storms with that frontal boundary that Dr. Lyons just mentioned in the southeast, in addition to Tropical Depression Henri, we still have some monsoon moisture around, so let's investigate. So in the southwest, around the Four Corners, we could see pop-up storms as well as some isolated severe weather in southern Georgia, southern Alabama, and Florida. Here's a look at the rain coming down now in association with that front. You can see Charleston, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, some wet weather. Looking at some improvement, Savannah, over the next, say, hour or so as this rain shield moves toward the north. Otherwise, there's the front, but high pressure to the north, giving you a fine day with some fog this morning in Pittsburgh, and there's that monsoon moisture in the Four Corners.
Well, be sure to stay with us because coming up next on Weekend Now, Kelly Cass and Bill Keneally will have the latest forecast from coast to coast.
And the Weather Channel Road Crew's Kelsa Kinsley joins us live. Good morning, Kelsa. What's on the agenda today?
Good morning, Bob. Well, what is on the agenda is the big football game going on tonight in Miami. We're in Miami right now, the University of Miami taking on Florida. The team spirit is very, very strong here. This weather is not dampening the spirits at all. And it is pretty rainy here. If you have a look, you can see this puddle. It's, still a little rain going on, and it rained for most of the night. But like I said, this rain is not dampening the team spirits here, I'll tell you, and more of that coming up.
There are nearly 7 million people with psoriasis, but sometimes I feel like I'm the only one.
Luckily, I discovered Psoriasis Connections. Now I know I'm not the only one who wears long sleeves in August.
I'm not the only one who craves information. Psoriasis Connections is a free magazine.
Expect fair skies Monday through Wednesday with temperatures in the 70s on Monday.
Well, it's 50 minutes past the top of the hour. Time now for your tropical update, and we also have a new tropical storm to talk about. First, though, we want to give you the very latest on Tropical Depression Henri. Notice here that as of the last advisory, it was positioned at 35 miles to the south-southwest of Daytona Beach. The winds at 30 miles an hour, moving to the east-northeast at 20. Pressures estimated at 29.74 inches. However, as we take a look here at the Doppler radar out of central Florida, you'll notice that the center of circulation is now basically just about over water, and it's continuing to work its way towards the north-northeast. Not a lot of shower or thunderstorm activity associated with it right now, but take a look at the last couple of frames. Notice here that we're starting to see some thunderstorm activity developing on the north side of the center of circulation as it's moving out over that Gulf Stream. Now, with Henri, we could potentially even see it redevelop, I should say, into a tropical storm as it continues to get out into the open waters. Thunderstorms developing along the I-95 corridor, and that will be the case throughout portions of Florida throughout the day as Henri continues on its northeast track. A lot of the moisture from Henri is also pushing its way into portions of the Carolinas, making it a miserable day. The rest of the Gulf of Mexico is relatively quiet. I want to show you now Hurricane Fabian. Yes, wow, look at this. What an impressive satellite picture here. Still got a well-defined center of circulation. Bermuda is at the very bottom of your screen. If you do have that little bar going across, you may not even be able to see it, but it's right there. And you can see it's gradually lifting its way to the north-northeast. And here's the latest coordinates on Hurricane Fabian. It slammed into Bermuda with 117-mile-per-hour winds, and still they're assessing the damage here. It was one of the worst hurricanes that they've seen in Bermuda. Head-on strike in 50 years. Latest position on Hurricane Fabian, 835 miles to the southwest of Cape Race, Newfoundland. Winds right now lower than how they were when it moved over Bermuda. Now at 110 miles an hour. Moving fairly rapidly, though, to the northeast at 22 miles an hour. Pressures at 28.50 inches. Still a lot of convection associated with Fabian, and also a well-defined center of circulation as it's lifting its way north and eastward, and it's basically not expected to affect land anymore, and it will continue to weaken as it pulls away from the central Atlantic. One thing, though, that it is causing problems is with high waves along the U.S. coastline, and also the potential for rip currents today. Projected path of Fabian, as you can see here, through Monday morning, taking it well out to sea, not affecting any major land masses. Across the rest of the Atlantic Basin, well, I told you we have a new tropical storm. Can you pick it out? Right here, southwest of the Cape Verde Islands. And this is Tropical Storm Isabel. And Isabel was a strong tropical wave. It was upgraded today to a tropical storm, and it's working its way westward, still several days away from land. That's good news, and we'll keep a close eye on it. Here's the latest coordinates on Isabel. 660 miles, excuse me. Like 6 miles make a difference, west of the Cape Verde Islands, and the winds at 40 miles an hour, moving to the west at 14, pressures at 29.68 inches, and it is forecast to strengthen within the next 48 hours as it's working its way west, and then it's actually going to curve a little bit to the west-northwest. Eastern Pacific, everything is quiet. That's good news here for folks in Mexico. And then as we take you into the Western Pacific, we do have a new tropical storm here that is pushing its way to the west. Back across portions of Florida, flood watch is still posted for the Tampa area for heavy downpours. Stay with us. Mark Mancuso's up next.
This program was brought to you by the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's a commitment to having the lowest possible prices every day, and not just a promise. It's the assurance of a price protection guarantee. It's a reminder of just how smart you really
You can even sleep in them. They're approved by the FDA.